and welcome to the Spirit of Our Time Ministry broadcast, the program that explores and examines current events in the light of gospel truth. Do you have your Bible with you today? Get it? You got it? Got it? Good. Then let's go. Today, my message is entitled, Smiling Faces Tell Lies. Smiling Faces Tell Lies. I want to, before we begin, to sincerely apologize to all of you who regularly view this program. I believed in my heart, like most of you, that Hillary Clinton would be elected president of these United States of America. I was wrong. I believed that there were enough decent white people in America to keep Donald Trump out of the White House, and I was wrong. I did not believe that the same people that have sought to impeach the governor of Alabama would turn around and elect a president, or elect for a president, a Donald Trump, who is guilty, not just guilty, but flagrantly, extremely more abundantly guilty of the same thing that they are intent upon impeaching the governor of Alabama for. Let me explain. I said in a program some months ago that in the state of Alabama, we have a governor who was overtaken, apparently, in the act of adultery. That is to say, he is being accused of having had an adulterous relationship with his chief aide. The woman in question was outed by the governor's former wife, the governor of Alabama's former wife. And in the process, 60-some-odd% of the people in Alabama were adamant about having him either resign from his position of governor of Alabama or be impeached. So Governor Bentley chose not to resign, and it has been the aim, the goal, the mission of the Republican-controlled legislature in the state of Alabama to impeach Governor Bentley. This is still a major part of their agenda. Governor Bentley is a Republican himself, and their argument was that the governor of Alabama, according to Republicans, should be above board. He should be morally fit, morally straight, morally right. And then we come to last Tuesday. And not only in the state of Alabama, but throughout the South and the parts of the Midwest and the border states, what used to constitute the old Confederacy even, much of it, voted en masse for Donald Trump to be president of these United States. Now, I don't have to rehearse in your ears again all the charges that have been leveled against him and that are undoubtedly true. He has been accused and charged by women of having done some heinous things. Governor Bentley, the governor of Alabama, has not been charged by anybody, accused of anybody of doing heinous things. He has just been charged with having an affair. But they want him out. And they voted Donald Trump in. So I apologize to you who are the current and regular partakers of this program, because I thought, like you, that America was better than that. I believe that there were enough decent white people in America to keep Donald Trump out of the White House. And again, I say I was wrong. This election has revealed the often hidden but pervasive evil core of most white Americans. I say most, but not all. God has allowed this election to bring out into the bright sunlight for the entire world to see the bitterness, the hatred, the downright hypocrisy of those whites on the so-called religious right, the Southern Baptist Church and their Southern Pentecostal allies, under the leadership of their pastors on last Tuesday, proved that they do not know Jesus and that they would have cried, "Crucify him," if Jesus were here today. These white conservative church folk knowingly and willfully, with malice and forethought, orchestrated the defeat of tolerance and justice in America. They dealt a violent blow to decency and unity and to the Christian principle that I am my brother's keeper. These white conservative church folk disowned Christ's greatest commandments, that we are to love God with all our heart and with all our soul and with all our mind, and that we are to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. All of that went down the drain last Tuesday. Instead, they loved their Republican Party and their hatred and prejudice more than they loved their fellow man. But I stopped by today to tell you that Tuesday's victory is only a Pyrrhic victory at best. You see, a Pyrrhic victory is one that inflicts such a devastating toll on the winner that is tantamount to defeat. In other words, they won a victory of a sort on Tuesday. The enemies of God, the enemies of justice, the enemies of righteousness, the enemies of love and unity. They won a victory of a sort on last Tuesday, but it was a Pyrrhic victory because in their winning, they have paid and are going to pay such a devastating price that they might as well have not won at all. A person who wins a Pyrrhic victory has been victorious, yes, but the price they had to pay to win takes away any sense of achievement or profit. In other words, Jesus put it this way in Matthew the 16th chapter and the 26th verse. For what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul? For what can a man give in return for his soul? God is even now pronouncing judgment on America. The outcome of this election has done foundational damage to this nation. It has revealed some sad and sick truths about us as a people. As I said earlier, it was not all whites that voted for hate and injustice, but it was the majority. As a result of this, a question and a suspicion has risen, and it permeates our society now. How do I, as a person of color, know which of the white persons that I work beside and share the same space with, that I interact with, that I go to school with, that I am taught by, whose team I play on, whose children I feed and bathe and take care of, whose home I clean, that I may even sit next to, even in church? How do I know that that's not the one who hates me and with his or her vote has sought to destroy me and deny me my rights and my citizenship, my God-given citizenship in this nation? How do I know? I say a question and a suspicion has arisen within my heart. The outcome of this election has proven that smiling faces tell lies. So what will I do now? What will you do now as a person of color? And what will I think? How will I respond when I am invited by some white person to attend some event, some function, some occasion, some outing? Ordinarily, I would have examined the invitation on its merits. Do I have time to go? Am I too busy? Will I have fun? Will they serve food? You know, things like that. Little insignificant things to be sure. But now I must add to the mix and ponder in my own mind whether I and or my children care to fellowship with people among whom are perhaps a majority who seek to destroy me, who seek to take away my rights. I must remind myself every day now of the prophetic words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. when he said, I have been to the mountaintop Dr. King said that the Lord had allowed him to look over and to see the promised land. And he said that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I have to remind myself that despite this tragic setback, this grievous injustice that has been perpetrated upon a nation and a people, I have to remind myself that no matter how many Donald Trumps rise up, no matter how many Mitch McConnells rise up, no matter how many Paul Ryans come to power, there may be, no matter how many there may be, we as a people, we're still going to get to the promised land. There is nothing that can stop us. No power on earth can keep us from getting to where God has preordained for us to be. We've had a taste of it now. And we're not going to give up. We're not going to give out. We're not going to give in. We're not going to give over to the evil and the hatred and the prejudice and the bigotry that some have heaped upon us and seek to do us harm. I remind you, my brothers and sisters, that evil will receive its just reward. Let us not become weary in well-doing. And let us hold out until our change comes. And let us wait without complaint. And meanwhile, let us be about our Father's business. Let this be a wake-up call for us to return to the God of our fathers. For he is the only one and that can sustain us, that can lift us, that can promote us. I'm trusting in God. I don't know what others may do. But as for me and my house, I'm going to be like Joshua. We will still serve the Lord. Because here's the way it is with me. From sea to shining sea, America has never been America to me. But I promise you, I'm going to do everything in my power so that someday America will be. That's all I have for you today. May God bless you. May God keep you is my prayer. And I'll see you next time online.